Insurance rates for North Carolinians are increasing, but not as much as insurance companies were actually hoping for. The North Carolina Department of Insurance recently settled on an 8% average rate increase for dwelling insurance policies starting November 1st.
Insurance companies were hoping for a 50% increase. Queen City News Chief Business Correspondent Taylor Young joins us now. So Taylor, despite the rate increase being smaller than the requested amount, this settlement has still sparked some controversy.
Yeah, it really has. And it all boils down to a public hearing that will no longer be happening because Commissioner Mike Causey settled. A North Carolina senator who is running against him in the upcoming election claims he's not being transparent when negotiating with insurance companies. He disagrees.
A scheduled public hearing between Commissioner Mike Causey and the North Carolina Rate Bureau canceled after both parties reached an agreement.
Most of the time, we've negotiated settlements that have been very favorable to consumers, and that's the win-win situation.
A public hearing like the one canceled operates similar to a court case. The Rate Bureau, which represents insurance companies, has to prove with evidence why a rate should be increased in order for them to make a reasonable profit. In Causey's 7-year run as commissioner, he hasn't held one.
So when he skips those hearings time and time again and instead says, I negotiated in private with them for a new rate, we never get to know what they talked about. We don't get to know anything about why there should be a rate hike at all.
North Carolina Senator Natasha Marcus is running against Causey for the commissioner seat in the upcoming state election. She says his failure to transparently fight for North Carolina property owners is one of her main reasons for running.
He has essentially told the public, trust me, I'll make you a good deal. You don't need to understand the details. Just trust me.
She also finds issue with Causey receiving campaign donations from the insurance groups that represent the companies he negotiates with. Last year, his campaign received a $6,000 donation from the Allstate Insurance Company PAC.
Do you feel a pressure to please the insurance industry because they're helping to fund your campaign?
You have to have a balance. There is pressure to make sure you're taking care of consumers. But at the same time, there's pressure to make sure these companies stay in North Carolina.
The last time the North Carolina Department of Insurance held a public hearing was back in 2011, 5 years before Causey took office. He and his staff estimate that hearing cost upwards of $500,000 and lasted weeks. Causey says these hearings should be looked at as an exception and not something that the committee needs to depend on.
If you can settle at a number that's very favorable to consumers, that saves taxpayers money.
Now, there is an upcoming public hearing set for the homeowners rate request. The court date is on the books for October 7th. Causey says he does not plan on canceling it. This would be his first rate hearing as a commissioner. Alicia?